And welcome everybody. It's back. It's got some sad news here. If you've been watching the news, you may have known that just today, news came out that a girl in BC committed suicide after dealing with a lot of cyberbullying. And I don't really like the term cyberbullying because it was more than just simply cyberbullying. What ends up happening is that in schools, when people are weird or different, or find themselves in a situation where they're outside the norms of what kids in school consider normal, they're rejected from society, and this rejection from society can have a devastating effect. It seems to be that it's easier, although not necessarily easy, if you start off from kindergarten, grade 1, being a social reject like I was. I'm a nerd and a geek, and I've been like this since kindergarten. My issues began in kindergarten, sort of went all the way throughout. So for me, it was pretty much a constant. Even when I went into school, there would be some issue there waiting for me, and more often than not, every time I went and had a situation, I wouldn't deal with it normally like other normal kids would. Because my behavior wasn't normal in terms of I thought differently than everyone else did, I behaved differently than everyone else did, I reacted to things differently than everyone else did, and this sort of pushed me to the edge of things, of society, at the edge of the school society. But here I am today, and I've gone through all this, and I'm seeing all these campaigns about cyberbullying and so on and so forth, and it seems to be the campaigners just simply don't seem to understand this. It doesn't matter how much you sing and dance and so on and so forth. Being socially rejected has its consequences. There are things that you have to deal with. And as I said, the earlier on it happens, the easier it is. Like if it happens in elementary school, particularly in grade 1, kindergarten, grade 1, you don't have that group of friends like everyone else has from kindergarten and grade 1 on. You don't have that, and you sit on the outside of things. It's not easy. It's just easier than if it occurs in middle school, which is typically grade 6, grade 7, grade 9, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. It's easy when that happens, and you have, let's say, you're going from a group of friends you were on a popular scale, and all of a sudden you go from being popular to being what you see on TV as a nerd. All you have to do is look at Big Bang Theory on CBS, or you look at on Disney's Ant Farm. You look at Olive, and no one would really want to be Olive because her perceptions, her reactions to things, and particularly when she talks about her interesting factoids, every time she does that, and that being who she is, people roll their eyes and surely don't want to be around her because of what they call her annoying personality. But that's part of being a geek. That's part of being the nerd. That's part of being the dork. Is that you have this personality that is in some cases hard to deal with, and it's isolating. And the thing is that no one it really wants to be like this. And in every show that comes out that has a nerd in it, there's always the socially negative connotation to it. In other words, they show the negative side of being a nerd. And so not many nerds will actually stand up and say, hey, I'm a nerd, and it's okay, I'm happy with it. Most nerds spend a large chunk of their lifetime trying to run away from it. But I realized that in order to help some of the kids who are feeling the way they are in terms of wanting to commit suicide or hurting themselves, that if you're a nerd and you've been one lifelong, that maybe it's time for us to stand up and say, hey, I'm a nerd, I've been a nerd all my life, I've been a geek all my life, I've been a social reject, I've survived, it's possible to survive, and sort of open up your door and say, if you need help, you don't have to be alone, there's more people like you who've been out there who are the social rejects, and you don't have to go through what you're going through alone. And so that's why I set up this list, Geekolia. This is the particular purpose for Geekolia, is to have a visible place for kids to go when they are rejected from society, so that they don't have to be alone. And what you'll see is that the videos that I post will have an open video response. You can respond, or you can post any video response you want, so that if you are being bullied, you don't have to be alone. Post a video to one of my videos here, and simply say, I'm being bullied, I need, this is my situation. Describe it. You don't have to do it, you don't have to show your face. You can do it, the way they've done it on cue cards, that they have these cards written up, and they describe the story in the card format, just as the girl who committed suicide. And there's actually there are other examples of this. And you don't, describe the thing that you're going through, and then, but also realize that you don't have to go through it alone. Ask for help. Ask, say you want to be somebody like be my friend, and if you're alone and don't have anybody, you can count on me on being your friend and saying, yeah, I'm gonna. It's not to say, oh, no one cares about me. I'll care about you. So you don't have to be alone. I've been through this, and in order to sort of stop this, or sort of reduce the suicide rate and the number of kids who feel they need to hurt themselves, I think this is what has to happen, that I have to stand up and sort of say this. And show, and this is what I'll be showing, the things that I go through on a regular basis, the things, how people react to me. So I hope that this reaches the audience I intended to reach, and this is particularly the kids who are feeling bullied. You're not, unfortunately, the bullying, the way this has been going on, now for a very long time. I don't see that it's going to stop at all. What your outcome in the situation is more or less how you react to it, how you will let it affect yourself. And there are options out there, and I can discuss a variety of different options, and that you have to convince your parents that these options, although they may not be standard or may not be the normal options, they are nonetheless things that are workable, and that you could have a good life regardless of whatever social situation that you end up being in. So anyway, that's it for this this segment of Geekolia, this post for Geekolia. I will see you on BigBangTheoryRL and see you out on YouTube. Take it easy.
Welcome to the library, and I am the librarian.
I am the professor. And professor of what? Professor of physics.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Free speech rules here at Democratic Earth.